Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2017, and it's week 25 of competition. I'm here in Season 2, my Pro Cyclist mode, and my rider, Gamer Decathlon, is running 15th overall. And stage 1 was a very short prologue. Did okay. Stage 2 was a sprint stage. And this stage, not quite sure why it's getting the classification it does. They say that it's cobbles, but I don't see any cobbled sections. They say that it's a sprint, but that's looking pretty punchy for a sprint. So we'll get into it here on this stage. Stage 4 is a day for the hill climbers, and stage 5 will be a sprint stage to finish this one out. It's a Dutch tour. I'm well outside of the favorites for this one, but I'm just 7 seconds off pace at this point.
Hello and welcome. The race has cobbled sections that are renowned for testing both bikes and their riders. You've got to know what you're doing. It's a beautiful day today. That should be to the liking of
Leader
most
outsider.
riders.
They want me to finish in the top 20. I am totally on my own today, though, with 0 helpers. A little surprising. It looks like I at least do have someone with me for now. Race day condition has come out pretty well, because I have a +1 on the day.
Break. He can't have much idea of what's lying in front of him.
So Giordani is with me. A lot of people trying to get into the break for today's stage. I'm going to take a closer look at the profile. See if I can see where these cobbled sections are supposed to be at. There's one cobbled section. One steep, short climb. So that's, what, the last? Is it the last climb? Yeah. The last categorized climb. That's a Cat 3 climb. Is cobbled. I think I should be just fine then. And with that, I'm already in position. Let's just hang out here at the front. Short, steep climbs throughout the day, indicative of the region, so that makes perfect sense. By having one cobbled section, I don't think makes this a cobbled stage. I think you should have 4 or 5 before you really call it that. And they should be multiple kilometers in length. Alright, so the breakaway ended up with 13 riders. And these short little steep climbs are enough that it's actually splitting off the field a little bit, as we're having breaks in the field, surprisingly. We're through only 2. And they're probably the easiest of the 2. There's a climb right there. Short, steep, and skinny road. So this could wind up being a difficult day that will split the field up a bit. I'm using a little bit of energy. We're just about halfway through the climbs on the day. You can see there's a lot of ups and downs. And that skinny road could certainly play a role in some splits. We just went over the highest climb of the day, even though it wasn't categorized. I'm the only one on the team with any sort of plus condition, so that could hurt. We got a 3.5 minute gap to the breakaway. That's quite a bit of time that's going to have to be made up. And wow, I just slid back a lot. And that was all just because I was stuck behind somebody. We need to slow this down, make sure this group's going to get all back together. I really got knocked back on that just because of a skinny road and behind somebody who was going slow. I wasn't showing any difficulty whatsoever, but it did create a massive split. And you can see just how far back I am now just by being on the edge.
From inside the breakaway group.
Definitely need to move myself forward here. Got another climb coming up here in a little bit. There we go. Things are coming back together as we hit yet another climb. This isn't costing me too much energy. Got Giordani with me again. That's already up and over the climb. Let's see if I can't get forward where I need to be.
Winning at fallen.
Oh, big fall, and I'm caught up in it. I
Like
thought I was okay on the edge. Get
up!
up! Jeez, it's collecting a bunch more riders.
Several riders are on the ground, but it doesn't
Wow.
look too serious.
Having some bad luck today, huh? Alright, so I've been left behind yet again. And there's 2 splits here. A lot of my team, my entire team besides the one in the breakaway, is in this group. Okay, now there's nothing to push forward for, so I need to just hang out here at the front.
Now's not the time to give up watching.
Oh boy, that group just disappeared. Trying to stay in the slipstream here.
He's trying to give his pals the slip. Falling behind. A team leader is falling behind. A rider drops out.
Somebody didn't get up from the crash. Okay. Still over a minute back off the peloton, which is only 46 riders, so there's not going to be... Yeah, there we go. We're close now. Not close enough. 2 climbs left to go. There's still time after the last climb to catch them as well. But my group is getting smaller, which means it's working awfully hard. Let's see, I am pretty fatigued now, but I've at least got... I don't have a rider covering me. McNally? McNally's just pacemaking, along with Shar, trying to get us back up there. Peloton's shrunk. It's down to 26 riders. And then this small group right in between, they're kind of right on the edge of being with them. We're still a minute behind, but you can see we're not far. We've got this little bit of a flat before we hit the next small climb, and we're just about to catch them. Just about back in. Another split in the peloton. Come on, guys. You're almost there. Just bridge that gap.
This climb features some dreadful
There we go. We are in it. I want to start moving forward. Need to get up near the front. Oh, see? Another split. now, the breakaway group's got a real chance today, as there are 13 riders, and they're still 3.5 minutes ahead. So I've finally, pretty much myself, reached the peloton. I've reached the group while my team is still back in the back groups. So I'm at least with the peloton, but those 13 riders, I don't know what kind of gap any of them have. But considering we've had a prologue and a flat stage, they could be looking at the top 13 placements in the overall standings. Alright, there's only the one climb left to go, but I am pretty fatigued now, so this could be a bad day. It'll speed things back up a little bit. Yeah, the pace is pretty high at 91. I was just on the edge there. Okay, we are starting to gain, but only slightly. We've only picked up about 15 seconds, and we've only got 47k to go to catch those 13 riders. And we've only got a group of 30 ourselves. So it's going to be extremely difficult to happen. Here's that cobbled section.
Sure, when it comes to cobbled sections, there will always be a fight at the front as the riders enter. It's vital to be at the front to avoid falls or breaks in the peloton.
Don't get caught behind the slow guys. Don't get caught behind the slow guys. I got caught behind the slow guys. Everything got back together there for a moment, but 10 riders got away. And then another 4. So it's all split up. Just like that. Even though I was right near the front. And that would put me outside of the top 20. So yet again, and look at that. That's it for the climbing though. But I definitely don't have... Okay, we're back together. Again, we are well over 3 minutes back. So I think the breakaways got it today, and they're going to end up with a significant lead in this thing. And meanwhile, I just used the last of my energy. I might get dropped from the group here. There's still 36k to go. And I'm not recovering. Come on. Come on. Heart rate, get down. Get down. Let's speed this up a little bit. Okay, heart rate got low enough. I'm slowly starting to recover. Slowly start. Oh, come on. Slow down, you guys. Slow down.
Falling behind! A team leader is falling behind!
Kind of just hanging with the group. Just barely. That lead's not coming down. Heart rate. Come on, heart rate. Come on. Get down there. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Nope. I'm going to get dropped. Here it goes. I'm sliding backwards. Shar, hook me up, dude. And you didn't. I just got dropped. Oh. I need somebody. Shar was my guy. Just abandoned me. Rode right past me. Would have shielded me from the wind. That would have been the difference I needed. Come on, I need that heart rate down. Get back up here.
There's less than 20 kilometers left, and there's a significant gap back to the pack. The
Now it's not picking up. I'm at 148, 147. It should be gaining. Wow, this is not going the way I expected it to go. Get caught up in that wreck. Burned a lot of energy with my group catching up. Get up there. And then right on the edge of just barely burning energy to not recovering.
Apparently,
pace was just a fraction too high, and now I'm just not recovering. So I'm done. Toast. 12k to go. Finally catch up with a group, and they're just riding by me. Finally, a little recovery.
5 kilometers remaining.
But I'm way back now. Lost a few minutes. They're slowly gaining on the peloton.
And there goes the mad burst for the final
Or
sprint.
the breakaway group.
Oh, the list of those left behind goes on rising. That's just fantastic. He really was the
Hey, my
strongest in
teammate got
leading
the
group.
win.
The riders bringing up the rear have made it through sheer willpower. This stage was a real strength.
Oh, I went too
sapper.
early. There's still 3K. Well, that's it. We are done. This isn't going to be our race. That crash was the biggest thing. And then those splits. Gosh, I was right at the front. And we got split. It's a skinny roadway and short, steep
Now
climbs.
for the best moments of the
Splits
day.
just showing up anywhere and everywhere. And just not quite as strong of a rider as I need to be yet for this level. So they ended up hanging on. That's the breakaway group, the remnants of it. 9 riders of the 13 made it to the end together. And my teammate ended up being the strongest. Got the win. Shar could have saved me there at the end, and I could have been in that group just a minute behind. Still fighting for 10th place in the overall. Or better, depending on the climb. And he totally left me. So I end up in the group behind, 5 minutes down. That sucks. Still got a small chance of cracking the top 20, but we got a 4-minute gap, so it's going to take some of those riders ahead to really struggle in this next stage. We're just about to hit the national time trial for the U.S., which I had a pretty good performance last year. I forget where exactly I finished, but it was top 10. This isn't that big of a climb, so it shouldn't split the field that much. So I'm 37th overall. I don't know why, if I was the leader, why nobody on the team wanted to provide any support. That was surprising. So Bogny's is one of the favorites today. Tony Gallopin. It's definitely the favorite. DeVrent is 3 seconds off from those 9 riders who emerged at the top with their... he got the time bonus
Ladies
for
and
the
gentlemen,
win,
hello
but
and welcome. It's an undulating route, so it will be a tactical
prologue
race.
played a role in that. Time gaps between the 9. Oh, now I'm a teammate, and I've got to work at the head of the group for DeVrent. Oh, okay. So we've switched roles, which makes perfect sense. I'm outside of the top 30 now. And it's all because when I was leader, I didn't get any help or support. And now they're going to name somebody else leader, and I've got to go help and support him. Makes perfect sense. Shar, dude, that was not cool. All you had to do was shield me from the wind, and I would have been, because I was right at the edge. That shield from the wind would have lowered that heart rate 4, 5, 6 And I could have made it with that group. I would have been a minute off. I would have been right there around 10th place.
The peloton has slowed right down. The teammates of those in the breakaway are not going to make an effort. It's up to the other teams to get their fingers out.
Wow, look at that. You got 4, 5, 6 riders going to the front to work on this thing. How are you as a climber? Let's see. There he is. Yeah, Hills 63. You're not going to win. Okay, 7 riders in the break. We'll go here on 4. I gotta get my 30K in so that I can eventually get stronger as a rider, because clearly I'm not strong enough now. As much as you want to try to blame a crash or the awkwardness of skinny roads, short steep climbs, whatever it is, I got dropped. So if I was strong enough, I wouldn't have been dropped. And the only way to get better, you can't just automatically perform. The other way is the training. And a big chunk of that is pleasing the manager, pleasing the boss. They make the calls. They tell you to work, you go work. So once I've done enough and let off the front for a bit, oh, somebody just withdrew. There's 50%. I got 15K to go still. Really nice to get it in before we get to these climbs so that I can actually go tuck myself back in. Now there's 4 of us splitting the load. Okay, we hit that little climb and I ended up going right to the front. There's 75%. Getting close. Now we're going to hit a real climb here. I have a feeling I'm going to probably rush right to the front. Yep. But we'll slow it down. Don't need to go up at quite such a pace. There we go, over the first climb. And back to the front. Gotta be hitting that 30 here real soon. Okay, we got another short, steep one here. I'm not gonna be going crazy here. Oops! I just broke off the front. They didn't want to stay with me, huh? I do want to get back up there, though. I'm not quite done yet. Not quite at 100%. I've got to be close. There it is. Alright, now I'll just tuck in. I'm done. I did my job. Big fall, big split. Back together. We are 6 minutes down from the breakaway group. 6 minutes. You know what? I'm done working. I did my 30K. I'd like to move up in the standings a bit. Get back in some sort of contention. Because I know that unless this ends up being a really easy stage, that my guy, DeVrent, isn't going to be in the front group at the end of this. And now, look at that. We are still 7 minutes down with only 33K to go. So these 7 riders are going to run away with this thing. I don't know how far back they are, but they just let them go. Like, we're not even chasing them down. I mean, it just now went under 7 minutes. This is a weird race. This has been a very weird race. Wouldn't I love to be in that group right now and pick it up 7 minutes and go into the first place? We've only picked up 1 minute on him. There's only 12K to go. And we have not had enough pace to lose anybody. There's still 118 riders in Peloton. 2 riders have broken off the front. Nope, they're back together. And they're back out to 6.5 minutes ahead. It's like we're not even trying to chase them down. Either they have huge deficits.
His aim was to win it, and he didn't disappoint his teammates. It's a job well done.
Yeah, it's no names that I know at all. And here we go, last K.
We're waiting for the back markers, who appear to be fairly numerous in this difficult race.
Barely lost anybody. There's still something like 100 riders in the group. And we were 6 minutes behind the breakaway.
Now for the race highlights.
Strange, strange, strange. So, were they all more than 6 minutes down? Yes, they were. They didn't affect the top 9 at all. It ended up being 4.5 minutes. But, yeah, there you go. Almost all of the field, besides 4 withdrawals and just a few riders that got dropped. So I guess the only good thing is my teammate still sitting pretty in third. So bad there, good there. 8 points of progression. Manager slightly satisfied, down to 79%. Okay, stage 5, another cobbled day. But it's perfectly flat, so there's no reason that anybody's going to get dropped here. But stranger things have happened. Stage 4, stage 3. Perfect examples of very strange things that have happened. So I'm in 38th now. So I actually only dropped 1 place in the standings. No, 5. Guaranteed that 5 of those, all 5 of those were from the group of 7 that stayed away in the breakaway group. So they moved ahead of my pack, but they didn't move ahead of the front 2 packs. So those guys 10th, 11th, 12th were all still the same ones as well. Yeah, see, Michael Shar was still there, minute 33.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. The race has cobbled sections that are renowned for testing both bikes and their riders. You've got to know what you're doing.
Free element. Let's go have some fun, huh? Get in the breakaway group. Let me through. Oh, let me through. Coming through. Beep, beep. Watch out.
He's launching an attack.
You
There's
just
not
shove
much
him all
hope in
over.
it succeeding, but at least his family gets to see him on TV. There's a few riders jockeying for position at the front.
And away we go. I am the 4th rider up the road. -2 race day condition. I guess I'm feeling sad and depressed that things got away from me. Let's see, what is affected? My cobbles are a -1. Okay, and we have 6 riders away.
That's more than 2 minutes separating
And we're
them.
well over a minute ahead of the pack. So we will catch these guys here pretty quick and have a full group of 6. Let's see, stamina, resistance, fighter, cobble, all hurt, and flat, all hurt. So most of the stats that I've lost are ones that could affect me today. Now let's take a quick look at the guys with me. 36 minutes off the pace. He's 5:49. 1 second ahead of me. 1 position ahead of me. It's Shockman. Lammertink, 6 minutes. 5:56. And 10:10. So, I'm right there within 1 second of the front.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway.
They're not going to let us
given
hit
that the pack
6
has
minutes
increased its
away,
speed.
but I need to slow down a little here, huh? Alright, so we're in the break. 6 riders. We are 2.5 minutes away, and we'll see how far they let us get out. And if they let us do what happened on the last stage, where we're so far out of contention that they just let us right away. That last group was well out of it, and they just rode away and ended up winning by 4.5 minutes. If we win by 4.5 minutes, that could be right there.
Watch out!
Top
there
20.
are a few riders in trouble at the back. A leader is down. The team plans could well be turned upside down.
Alright, weird things going on with the breakaway group as they suddenly started closing us down. Maybe that was for the sprint. No, there's no reason why that would have been. Oh, there's a split in the peloton. Might have had something to do with that.
The peloton seems to want to
We got a
wind the
small
breakaway
cobble
back
section
in.
here.
Now they're riding, and the gap is melting away. One thing's for sure
These
when it
look
comes
like
to cobble
smooth,
sections.
easy ones,
There will
though.
always be a fight at the front as the riders enter. It's vital to be at the front to avoid falls or breaks in the peloton.
Alright, gotta keep an eye on my water. It's been a while since I've been in a break. It's nice to be in one. And the pace suddenly picked up again. And they suddenly started closing us down again. So it looks like we're holding just a 2.5 minute lead. That's anytime it starts to approach 3 minutes, they speed up. So then we speed up, and then they slow down once they close the gap a little bit. So they're holding us at that 2.5 minute mark, which is going to be real difficult later on if we're to stay ahead in this thing. Yeah, see, here we go again on the sudden accelerations. Another small cobbled section coming up. I need water. There's water. Gotta watch that pace. That gap right at that 245. It's like the moment we hit 245, they speed up. So unlike yesterday, where they couldn't care less about the breakaway group, today they care a whole lot. There's the next cobbled section. That one was a bit tougher, but it was not a big deal. Having a harder time keeping the pace right than anything else here. We're out over 3.5 minutes, so they did let us get away a little bit here. And we are working harder than we were before. Down to 70K to go. Just inside 3 minutes and 55K. Energy is getting down there a little bit. They are working pretty hard here. Might not be able to hang on to this thing a whole lot longer. My stamina is fading pretty fast. My race day condition is affecting that, so I'm not looking too strong today. And some of the group is now kind of just hanging on. And maybe I should do the same. Through a sprint point there. I cannot go 89. Here we go. There goes my energy. I might wind up being the first one dropped. Yep, there we go. Goodbye, group. We were down to 1:45, but you can just see how weak I am. I don't know if it's the cobbled sections that's getting me. Yeah, they're out of reach now. I'm on my own. 17 seconds behind, 20 seconds behind, 27K to go. They're not going to make it to the end anyway. The lead's down to 1:20, but it's sad that just like that, I'm getting dropped from the group.
They really are moving. The pack can't get strung out too
Not
far,
my
or it's
race.
going to start breaking up.
Alright, well, they're away from me. I'm almost back to the peloton. Hopefully I at least have enough strength to hang on to the peloton. The peloton is split. There's only 90 riders there.
Aha! He's trying to give his pals the slip. He's been leading for a long time, and his pedal stroke seems more irregular. The finish will seem a long way off. The pack is putting the squeeze on the breakaway.
Yeah, kind of right where I was in that last stage
Riders
where
are falling off the back.
I'm
It's
just
not a good
hanging
moment to be
on
going through a
the
bad
edge
patch.
of recovery and getting dropped.
Only 15 kilometers left.
The last 14K. 11K.
The escapees
Great.
have surrendered.
Group's all
The
back
pack gave them
together.
no chance.
Everybody's
10
together.
kilometers to the finish line.
And here I am just hanging on. I'm starting to slip off the back. I might be in last place here. That's never happened before. But it could happen here. Pace of the group is just that little bit hot.
Only 5 kilometers left.
There we go. The pace is really picking up now, and I'm off the back. Last place.
And the final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first to the line today?
Goodbye.
Superb victory for Marina Hofland.
Hofland gets the win for
The
Lotto
race is
Soudal.
run, but the
De Vrient
souls
is
bringing up the rear
third.
continue to cross the line. It's a
So
bit of a
depending
knock
on the
for
timing,
morale.
that time bonus and count back, does he get the win? We got a third, fourth, fifth, so the sprint train worked for him. Look at that. The team's all over the top 13. Well, I'm all over last place. Let's see how he did. I will be doing that single
And here
classic
are the
stage
race highlights
off
that we've selected
camera,
for you.
and then I will be seeing you next time at the USA time trials. So that'll be the start for the next episode, and then we'll also have the race as well. So De Vrient does get third on the day, which comes with that little time bonus. Is it enough? It is. With the count back, he is the winner over De Pape. So, stage win plus third on a stage, and that lucky breakaway was enough. Looks like only 8 of them survived. Hofland had been from that second group and moved up to 9th place. Somebody else in there lost a bunch of time, but otherwise that group survived. And for me, I lost even more time. I got all the way back in 86th. Poor form, poorly done. Not good, but I do get 10 points of progression for the team performance, really. Manager satisfaction plus 3, but again, only 78%, so I'm losing more than I'm gaining. I'm going to need a strong performance at the US time trials to regain a little manager satisfaction rating. Alright, well, that does it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.